Lisa Jane Hession was a beautiful schoolgirl. She was murdered on December the 8th, 1984. Her killer has never been found. Lisa Jane Hessian was born on April the 12th, 1970. When she died, she was 14 years, 8 months. She was a beautiful young kid, academically bright. She ran cross-country for Leigh Harriers. She was academically gifted, and she was also a talented gymnast. She was a pupil at Bedford High in Leigh, where she was outgoing and well liked by her classmates. She lived in Bonnywell Road, Leigh, and was raised by her mum Christine and her grandma Ellen. On December the 8th, 1984, she and her mum came to an agreement, and her mum let Lisa attend a house party just before Christmas at a friend's house. The deal was that Lisa had to be home by 10:30, and then she'd be allowed to also attend the school disco that was planned for December the 10th. Lisa went to the party, and she was the only girl at the event, which was held at Leigh Road. She left at about 10:15, kissing her then boyfriend at the gate, and then started the 2-mile walk back home. She was seen walking down St Helens Road through the town centre. She was seen again on Buck Street. At that point, she was about a minute from her home. It's then that someone has either ghosted behind her or has frog marched her into an alleyway which was behind Rugby Road. When Lisa failed to turn up at home, her mum reported her missing 15 minutes after she'd failed to come back at 10:30. Her mum Christine then went outside searching for Lisa herself. 3 times she went past an alleyway where Lisa had been taken. At 5 minutes to midnight, a man who was out walking his dog with his 13-year-old son found Lisa's body lying in the alleyway in a recess near a garage. She had bruising to her lips and to her face. She'd been sexually attacked. In 1984, I was a young reporter at the Bolton Evening News, and Lisa's case was the first murder that I'd ever covered. On December the 11th, 3 days after she was killed, me and other reporters from national and regional newspapers attended a press conference. The officer in charge dropped a bombshell which sent shockwaves through the entire community. He revealed that in the 4 months before Lisa was murdered, 3 other women had been targets for a sex attacker, and all the incidents had occurred within 1 mile of where Lisa was killed. That happened in August, September, and the final one was the night before Lisa was murdered. The one in August revealed the most information about the attacker. The woman who'd been targeted was on her way home to Rugby Road, the very road behind which Lisa was murdered. She was able to tell reporters that he had come up behind her, put his hand over her mouth, and had threatened to kill her. He'd also threatened to kill the 2 other women that he targeted. He was described as being about 20, good looking, and in jogging gear. The victim in August told me that she was able to talk her way out of trouble and walked with him for 300 yards. And during the course of the conversation, he told her that he couldn't get a girlfriend. she managed to escape. House-to-house inquiries also revealed something intriguing. On the Monday and Tuesday of the week that she was killed, witnesses had seen a man watching Lisa. On the Wednesday, he had actually followed her home. The atmosphere at the press conferences was that there was cautious optimistic from the police that it was only a matter of time before they found the man. In reality, what happened was that one man was arrested soon after Lisa's death. He was later released without charge, having been arrested on suspicion of her murder. He was the only person arrested in the 38 years since she died. 2.5 years after her death, another man was interviewed about the case while he was on remand at a jail in Merseyside, being held for another offence. But that inquiry led nowhere. In the last few years, a Facebook page called Justice for Lisa Hessian has been set up by Ryan Daly, a local man who wasn't even alive when Lisa was killed. It's an indication of the strength of feeling in the Leigh community. They've not forgotten Lisa, and they're determined to assist police in finding who her killer was. There's still a £50,000 reward on offer for information leading to the conviction of Lisa's killer. Lisa was killed in December 1984, and there'd been 3 attacks prior to her murder. In May 1985, there was another attack on the same estate, a few hundred yards from where Lisa was killed. On that occasion, a man grabbed a woman, flung her against a wall, and was attempting to remove her clothing when he was spooked by the headlights from a car and ran off. The daughter of that victim later told me that police believed he had chosen her mother because she was petite and at a distance looked like a young girl. In my opinion, and this is from speaking to cold case police officers, friends of Lisa, and people on that estate, I believe that the person who killed her probably knew her, was obsessed with her, and came not just from Leigh, but from the estate or near the estate where she lived. In 1984, journalistic ethics were not what they are now. 3 times I was sent to knock on Lisa's mum's door. Each time she was kind and civil to a young reporter. She told me, "Son, I know why you're here and I understand it, but we're not ready to talk at the moment." Eventually, when she did speak to reporters, there's one quote I will never forget. She said, "I stood on the pavement waiting for Lisa's white boots to come down the road, but they never did."